Good evening, and thank you all for coming. While I understand that many of you are here for the chair election, I hope that you will stay for the remainder of the meeting, which will include the introduction of the fiscal year 2026 budget and the high school program of studies. I'd also like to add that tomorrow evening, CHARIHO Tech will be hosting an open house from 5:30 to 7:30. Please come and view all of the great programs that are offered. I understand that feelings run deep and that some are going to leave this evening feeling like their side lost. We need to put those feelings aside and focus on the priorities of this committee, the students, the district, and the taxpayers. Tonight will be a beginning rather than an ending. We must find ways to work together, which will require us to put political labels aside. We must listen to one another and continually ask, is this best for all students, our district, and our community? My expectations for this meeting remain the same as every other meeting. We're adults, and we will conduct ourselves as the role models we need to be for our students. That being said, please refrain from outbursts, talking to or over one another. We have a lot to do this evening, and many of the members in the audience and on this committee need to get up early and go to work. With that in mind, I would also like to take this opportunity to share the process under Robert Rules of Parliamentary Procedure. At the last meeting, I was nominated as chair, and that vote failed. Under the rules, I cannot be nominated again unless a member that voted against me makes that nomination. The motion, discussion, and vote to table the chair vote came after the motion to nominate me. At this time, I will take nominations for chair of the CHARIHO School Committee. Polly.
I would like to nominate Louise Dinsmore. I have something small to say. Should I say it now or afterwards?
Need a second.
Second.
Thank you, and thank you for your words. Louise Dinsmore is an ideal choice to chair our school committee going forward. Louise has held many leadership roles in her nonprofit work, spanning over 3 decades. Those decades have had lasting impact on communities throughout Rhode Island. We are very lucky to have her as a school committee member and would benefit greatly from her leadership. I could list her resume, the communities she's touched with her professional contributions, and the advocacy she's implemented to save the taxpayers of Richmond their hard-earned dollars. But I'm going to tell you instead why I want to organize this school committee under her leadership. She is a fierce advocate for children, she is a fierce advocate for the taxpayer, and she's a fierce advocate for the community. And did you know she was a kidney donor? I didn't. That is a trifecta of importance, in my opinion. Louise is approachable, incredibly intelligent, and gracious. And she's a fantastic mother. We should be so lucky as to benefit from this kind of lasting impact over the next couple of years. I nominate Louise Dinsmore for the chair of the CHARIHO School Committee.
Anyone else? Jess?
So I do want to state a concern of mine that you did touch upon. At the last meeting, it was voted to table this vote until Ms. Dinsmore could be seated. But we didn't table all the votes. There was no discussion of tabling when we were discussing Karen as a nominee. It was moved forward without any discussion. And I feel if what the intent was to let Ms. Dinsmore participate, shouldn't she participate in all of the votes? As Karen said, those of us who supported Karen cannot make that motion. It would be up to someone who denied it. But I would request that we retake that vote, not with the intention to change the result, but to be true to the word that you said, which was that you wanted Ms. Dinsmore to be present. She's now present. I don't understand why one vote was okay and another was not.
Thanks. Anybody else? Okay, we'll vote. Those in favor of Louise as chair?
Seconded?
It was seconded.
Can we have discussion from the audience?
No. Okay. All those in favor? And all those opposed?
Abstain.
Mr. Luzon, you abstain? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we move on, because I know we have a lot of business tonight, I do have a few comments, before we, move forward. So first, I want to thank Karen Reynolds for her outstanding service to the CHARIHO School Committee as our vice chair for the past 18 months. I'm confident that I speak for all school committee members and the community in expressing our appreciation for your leadership and for your calm demeanor. You are someone who has our respect, Karen, for your unparalleled dedication to this body, the students, staff, and parents. I also want to acknowledge Catherine Colasanti, who served this committee with distinction and integrity. She was always prepared for meetings, asked thoughtful questions, considered all facts before her when making decisions. We owe our gratitude to Catherine for her service as well. To those of you who are thinking, I can't believe she's prepared remarks. She must have pre-planned this vote with a quorum. Colleagues who know me know that I am a planner, and in the event I was elected chair, I wanted to be sure to express the right words. Thank you to the school committee members for electing me as your chair. I truly appreciate your confidence in me. For those who did not vote for me, I will do my best to earn your confidence and respect. For those in our community who have expressed your frustration relative to the possibility of my becoming chair, because I wasn't elected by a majority of the voters of Richmond, to that I will say that I ran for office, giving 110% for 5 months of my life, and came just 27 votes shy, or 0.3% short, receiving 2,132 votes. I will tackle this role as I do with every other aspect of my professional life, giving this body and our students and our community 110%. Now that I have been appointed by the Richmond Town Council and sworn in, I am an equal member of this body, just like Ms. Purcell was when she was first appointed to this committee, and Ms. Reynolds when she was appointed by the Richmond Town Council several years ago. The community and the school committee welcome them both to this body unconditionally and without reservation. And now I ask for that same kindness, that same grace, and that same inclusion. Today and moving forward in our meetings, I will have 3 sticky notes before me, guiding me in this role. The note on the left has the word kindness. Kindness is one of my core values as a human being. I will treat each of you with kindness and expect the same in return. I will treat each of you with kindness and expect the same in return. Sorry about that. As public officials, we must hold ourselves to the highest standard of conduct, setting an example for our students and the communities we serve. The second note I have here is respect, also one of my core values. Although I have personally been spoken ill of in newspapers and by members of the community, I respect your opinion. I ask for that same respect in return. Just because I may disagree with your position doesn't give any of us the license to be disrespectful or mean-spirited. We must do better. The sticky note in the middle says students. Students are the center of our work here. Their safety, well-being, and academic achievement are at the forefront of everything we do. When I ran for office, I was sincere in my platform, a platform that highlighted academic excellence at its centerpiece. We should be the best school district in Rhode Island, in academics, in career and technical education, in athletics, in student safety. We must strive as a community and as a committee to be our best, helping each and every student realize their highest potential. My mother always told me, Louise, when you think you've done your best, keep striving to do better, to be better. When you think you have nothing left in the tank, dig deeper. As a community, we must strive to help our students to dig deeper, to achieve their highest potential. As we set our sights on the goal of being the best, we must find a balance with affordability to our taxpayers and residents, not trying to defund public education, but by working together as partners to look at the big picture with a fresh perspective. I ask that we all collaborate as school committee members with our administrators, with our staff, with our parents and students to be our best. We all play a unique and critical role in achieving the goals of academic excellence and affordability. Together, we can elevate CHARIHO to a level of excellence in being the best it's ever been. Thank you. Okay. Vice Chair, okay. Thank you. All right, so I will accept nominations for Vice Chairperson, and that Vice Chair will be a member from Charlestown. Are there any nominations for Vice Chair? Jessica?
I nominate Linda Lyall to be Vice Chair of Charlestown.
Second.
Discussion. Donna?
Do you want it, Linda? Okay.
That was a perfect question.
Well, that's a
Thank
question.
you. Yeah, I'm just surprised.
Linda has previously served as chair of the school committee. It was 2020 to 2022, is that what it was? Yeah. I think that well positions her to be vice chair.
Great.
Any other discussion?
I think if you're not gonna vote for Linda, you should discuss it. I think that was a problem we had, a bad feeling I had from the previous nomination at the last meeting. I think that you're here as a member of a public body to discuss what's on our agenda. So if you do not support Linda, I'd like to hear why.
I mean, I think everybody's vote is in their personal preference, so if
But you're a public servant, you're a member
Understood.
of a public body.
Understood, but I mean, not everything has to be discussed. If somebody has a personal preference, then they have their personal preference. Donna?
I would like to also suggest that if you're not gonna vote for Linda, then you say why you don't feel that she would be appropriate as a vice chair. I think that's important, to know why.
Okay, that's your opinion. Any other discussion? Okay, we will bring it to a vote. All in favor of Linda Lyall as the vice chair?
Why? Why?
All opposed?
Don't forget to vote.
Whoa. And why?
So that motion fails. I'll entertain nominations from the floor for vice chair. Polly.
I'd like to nominate Laura Chapman, and if I have a second, I will tell you why.
Okay, is there a second? Second. So the motion to nominate Laura Chapman from Charlestown has been seconded. Discussion?
In the short time I've had to get to know Laura Chapman, I have discovered a collaborative and intelligent change agent. It's apparent to all who attend our meetings that she does a lot of work researching and preparing to tackle topics brought to the school committee. And that work pays off for us, for the community, and all the children who attend our schools. Throughout the district, her questions are exact, thoughtful, and also thought-provoking. It's refreshing to hear intelligent takes from outside the box. These are the attributes I look for in a leader. I nominate Laura Chapman to serve as the vice chair of the CHARIHO School Committee.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion. All in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. So the motion carries. Laura, congratulations.